I'd now like to move us into the storytelling portion of our evening. The intention of this segment is to highlight the diverse and rich stories found along the Willamette River and areas surrounding the Portland Harbor. To open our meeting today, we have a wonderful guest who has graciously offered to share his connection to the river with us. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Yevgeniy Ruban from the Slavic Community Center of Northwest. Yevgeniy and his family love the outdoors and spend a lot of time on the Willamette engaging in water sports and water-related activities. He has graciously offered to come here tonight to share how that came to be and how he and his family found joy on the Willamette River. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Yevgeniy. I'd like to hand it over to you to share your story with us.
My pleasure. Hello, everyone. My name is Yevgeniy Ruban. I'm board members of Slavic Community Center of Northwest. I would like to share my story and experience related to the Lower Willamette River. I have moved from Ukraine in 1998. After barely learning a few words in English, taking the first step towards naturalization, I started working for Phoenix Gold, an electronics company located near Cathedral Park. I often spent my lunches and breaks in the park, and this went on for 11 years. I would say I grew up there along with learning a new culture. I watched the big ships pass under St. John's Bridge, Cat's Paradise near the boat ramp, picking blackberries on the shore, fishing from the shore, talking to fishermen while they were launching and loading their boats. It was unforgettable time in such beautiful place. Also, I watched the bad part of it. When boats, barges, and ships pass, making waves, especially when the tide is low, most of the dirty silt and mud races up from the bottom. It makes the whole look very bad. It seems to me that the river in lower reaches needs serious cleaning for a long time. I lived in Southeast Portland, and I remember always choosing my way to work using St. Helens Road, cross the bridge, watching the sunrise through the arch of the bridge. I advise you to experience it too. I have a beautiful wife and 2 kids. We love water activities like boating, tubing, jet skiing, kayaking, swimming, even like cliff diving, snorkeling, and of course, fishing. We love to spend time on the Willamette River, exploring and finding the beautiful places to stay there.
I can't come to the phone right now.
Usually we use Cathedral and Swan Island boat ramps for launching. There are so many nice places in the harbor, beautiful bridges, homes, submarine, yachts, ships, downtown Portland. Usually when the weather is hot, we prefer to swim, but when we see pollution in the water, the desire disappears. In that case, we have to leave the harbor and move up close to Clackamas River, Clackamas Park for swimming, snorkeling, diving. It's a big about pollution, especially in the Swan Island basin. A lot of foam floats and even oil spots floats up from the bottom. When we get home every time, we need to wash hill part and of the boat and or jet ski or kayaks because it becomes oily and dirty after floating in the harbor. By the way, we like kayaking in the harbor too. We usually start at Columbia Slough in Kelly Point Park and head to the harbor. I would say This could be the most unique harbor in the world, with its majestic bridges, luxurious shores that blend perfectly with the urban environment and the abundance of various fish species. Usually in the lower reaches of the rivers, before flowing into a large river, the most favorable conditions are formed for many species of fish. But unfortunately, this is not the case yet. In our Slavic community, as well as the Vietnamese and Chinese communities, we work together in the same company. In our countries of origin, we have the same tradition of catching carp and perch and using them for a meal. We have special, very delicious dishes. And I would like to say here is another piece of evidence. Savi Island, Multnomah Channel. In our community, we know this. In the fall time, when the big rains start, a lot of fish gather in Multnomah Channel. Our unusual traditional fishing begins. You may ask, where does a lot of fish come from? From there, because with the rains come big water with a strong current. In the harbor, from the banks and the bottom, the mud and is washed away and muddies the water. The fish loses the orientation, its orientation, and is washed downstream with the muddy water. Then the fish finds a new home in slack water in Multnomah Channel. Unfortunately, we keep losing fish species and good fishing in the harbor every year. I'm very happy and appreciate the opportunity to participate in the project to improve our beautiful harbor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yevgeniy, for sharing your story and ties to the lower Willamette and surrounding areas with us. It's great to hear that you and your family love kayaking and jet skiing and fishing and seem to engage in all sorts of fun on the Willamette. I'm just looking at the chat. You've gotten some feedback. Thank you. Your pictures are lovely. Folks, if you want to, I would encourage you to enter any remaining questions you may have for Yevgeniy into the chat, any reactions to his story. It's such a special component of this time that we have together to really hear from folks and why the Willamette means something extraordinary to them. So thank you so much, Yevgeniy. Really appreciate your time. So we mentioned you're welcome to stay on and hear presentations to follow. I'm not sure if there will be any questions for you in the chat, but maybe stick around for a couple of minutes just to maybe make some connections to folks trying to contact you in the chat. So thank you so much again for your time and for your story. And members, if you are interested ever in telling your story, or if you know of a community member whose story you think should be featured at a future collaborative meeting, please contact the facilitation team.